Right, first live race coming up for you, the 440 from Kempton. And this is a maiden, Division 1 of this particular contest. 6 furlongs, 8 runners, non-runner number 6. And 2 jockey changes. Fergus Sweeney is now on the top one, Bapak Bisar. And Jimmy Fortune rides number 9. Graham Lee has not made it yet. He rode a nice winner, Centerville at Lingfield, but he's not got to Kempton in time to ride this horse for Roger Charlton. So the top one is Bapak Bisar and Fergus Sweeney. 2, Bastion, Neil Callan. 3 is Foxtrot Jubilee, Richard Thomas. 4, Malaysian Bole, and Seb Sanders. Number 5, Secret Missile, Martin Dwyer. 6, a non-runner. 7, Desert Sunshine, Tom Eves. 8, Floating Along, Liam Jones. And 9, Serenity Spa, Jimmy Fortune. That's Floating Along, going to post quite nicely as well. Floating Along is 11 to 4. 3 to 1, Serenity Spa. Bastion 7 to 2. Interesting, Bastion's that short. A newcomer for Roger Varian and Neil Callan. Secret Missile 9 to 2. 9 to 1, Desert Sunrise. Foxtrot Jubilee 14. 33 is Bapak Bisar, and Malaysian Bole is the outsider for Simon Dow, and Seb Sanders going nicely to post. The favourite Floating Along, if a little bit weak in the market.
Good standard for a maiden at this time of year, I think. I think there are 2 or 3 of these that would have claims to winning most maidens at this track late on in the season. It looks on paper, famous last words of course, that it is the stronger of the 2 divisions as well. There's a look at Floating Along, who needed the experience first time but was getting the hang of things. Good family that the stable know well, out of Cape Classic and King's Apostle, so maybe a bit surprising it's not in the Cantor colours as those 2 were. But yeah, certainly nice enough performance first up, likely to improve, and that's the difficulty of this race. You're trying to work out which of them will improve. Slightly complicated by the fact that a few of them have had a slightly longer absence than you might have anticipated from their first runs, and I think that's true with Floating Along, 75 days, and Serenity Spa with 104.
Yes, Serenity Spa shaped quite nicely, didn't she, on her debut at Ascot when she finished 2nd. And she did the best of the newcomers, I think, that day. It was horses with experience in the race, and she did the best of those that hadn't had a run.
She just got a bit flat-footed when they quickened up, and then did some good late work. The slight concerns were that there was a little bit of cut in the ground, and I think Excellent Arts soft ground turf is more their métier than maybe the poly track. And this 104-day absence. The stable, I won't say that they're not, it's not to say out of form. They've had, they've had a losing run of only about 10 or 11, but in that time there have been some short ones beaten. 13 to 8, 11 to 8, 11 to 10. Over half those 11 have been 4 to 1 or shorter. And so just makes you slightly concerned. Graham Lee might have learned how to ride Lingfield based on his performance this afternoon, but he hasn't quite got the back roads between Lingfield and Kempton sorted out yet coming down south. I mean, Bastion's the interesting one that he's in the market, because I say I thought they set a good standard. He is a bigger horse, you can see there, than the majority. Normally, faster ground turf or Southwell would a Giant's Causeways go.
I was thinking Southwell, yeah.
But he's in the market, and clearly, I mean, he could be too good for them. You've got nothing to compare. He's certainly a big, substantial horse. You can see why he might not have seen a racecourse until this length of time. But as a consequence, there's always the danger he could just get a little bit lost early, and if he does, then it'll be pretty difficult to reel them back in. And I think the standard that they set means he'll have to be pretty smart first up, or maybe a few of those fluff their lines, because Secret Missile's just edgy in the back there, red and yellow. 2 runs to date at Wolverhampton, pretty similar.
Yes, didn't improve first to second, really.
And even though he's a little bit ignored in the market to some degree, Desert Sunrise right out to 12 to 1 now. He was very weak in the market last time.
Yeah, he was.
And ran poorly, but I thought there might have been an excuse in the sense that the ground wasn't soft, but there was more juice in it than on the debut, and I thought this surface might suit a bit better, but
possibly,
weakness in the market is clearly a concern. But it wouldn't surprise me if Desert Sunrise shaped a little better than that bare form, but the weakness in the market is concerning. That's the second time in a row that's happened, and it did couple with a poor run last time, so maybe there is another reason that I certainly am not aware of.
Of the 2 horses with form, real proper form, Floating Along and Serenity Spa, would you prefer Floating Along?
Yes, marginally, but only marginally.
Yeah. OK, not too many more to go. Bastion continues to be backed. The 11 to 4 favourite. There's Serenity Spa. Let's say a very good afternoon to our racecourse commentator, Mike Cattermole.
Thanks, Angus. Belated happy birthday for yesterday. And good evening, Richard, as well. Jimmy Fortune on Serenity Spa. replacing Graham Lee, who didn't get here in time. Graham was brilliant on centre rail today. Lined up, set for our first race here, and they're off and racing. And falling out of the stalls, Bastion, running very green at the back of the field. Serenity Spa only just a little bit better and just tucks in on the inside as the early pace in this 32 red Bet.com maiden stakes is with Foxtrot Jubilee, who leads them round the turn in the red cap, followed by Bapak Besar and the noseman on the outside of Desert Sunrise in third. Close up on the outside, Secret Missile, floating along's green cap, is tucked in there in about fifth place. And then comes Serenity Spa on the inside and Malaysian Ballet at the back of the field as they make their way round towards the home straight. The back marker at this stage, as they continue to turn, is Bastion, who's still trying to play catch-up. About 5 lengths off the pace, though, as they come down the home straight now. Foxtrot Jubilee in front. Push along on the outside, Bapak Besar. Between horses, Desert Sunrise getting into it. Switching to the far rail now is Serenity Spa, looking dangerous, but the leader, Foxtrot Jubilee, is pouring it on, entering the final furlong and a half. Here he comes to the final furlong. Foxtrot Jubilee down the outside, Secret Missile charging. Floating along is also finishing off well. The leader's getting a little bit weary. Foxtrot Jubilee being gathered in now by Floating Along. Foxtrot Jubilee, it's going to be tight. Probably held on from Floating Along and Secret Missile on the outside. That goes to the judge, and back and forth, Serenity Spa.
Tight. Foxtrot Jubilee Floating Along. Photo called. Foxtrot Jubilee far side, I thought, as they flash past. What do the exchanges think?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, 1.02.
Yeah, with Secret Missile right down the outside. And then just in behind, blue and yellow of Desert Sunrise, Serenity Spa. But Foxtrot's on the far side for Rafe Beckett, who came from stall 1, ridden by Richard Thomas, always prominent, kicked a long way out. Made just
good ride.
Yeah.
I presume this is a Peter Winkworth horse, if you sort of, in terms of the they were the Foxtrot horses, no colours. So I presume it might have been a Peter purchase. Don't know that for sure, but. A really good finish.
Yeah, very good finish. Yeah.
Tempo aided.
Result of the finish shows win for number 3, Foxtrot Jubilee.
Yeah, winner.
Second, number 8. Third, number 5.
Yeah, so Foxtrot has won. Son of Captain Marvellous. First time up. Richard Thomas always prominent, kicked quite a long way out. Floating Along was quite keen early on. We'll see that again as we take the replay in. But she was pretty keen early. I just felt they upped the tempo quite a long way out, and therefore Foxtrot might pay for that. But, tough effort.
I wonder if there was an element of having run keen, whether then Liam Jones wants just to sit for a moment or two on Floating Along to then sort of feel you're going to get the horse settled. But no doubt that the winners saw it out well. It wasn't just a complete dash at the top of the straight. The third horse is probably the best merit to it, because Secret Missile was a bit deep. From the stalls that we mentioned beforehand, the big danger was Bastion would fall out of the stalls, and he did, and he's just too big at this stage of his career to get away with that over 6 furlongs. Serenity Spa was anchored out the back, and if you look where the principals come from, the winner is in front, and the other two, one's keen, green sleeves, just behind the leaders, and the other one's 3 wide. So flick of the tail there, as if Serenity Spa might have been galloped on by Bastion. Certainly she felt he was a bit close for comfort, and that's keen at the back, so really out in front. But from this point on, he does roll on.
Yeah, he's gone steady for the sort of 2 and a bit furlongs, hasn't he? And now he's starting to roll on quite early on. But this horse was very sharply out of the stalls. He really knew his job.
Well, that was a feature of some of the Winkworth horses. So I had no idea what sort of connection there is, though there certainly were sets of colours.